Howdy folks, Grebner here with Grebner Outdoors, and starting thinking about deer season, and I'm about to do some scouting and show you all where I'm going to be having my stands at maybe. I could be wrong, but I think there's deer around. So here's the top part of my lease. It ain't even much of a lease. It's more hay, you mow it and you can hunt it. And the landlord's going to be building a house right back there. So I feel like fucking Les Stroud, but this technique works. Break out the Dramamine, here comes the fucking Blair Witch. So this is the other finger. There used to be a bean field. And this part in here is actually pretty sheltered, and so the deer like to come up back there and feed. Seeing as the landlord's building a house out here, he done figured he'd plant himself an orchard. Which is pretty fucking cool considering, well, deers tend to like apples. Right there is a tree that I'm going to be putting a stand in. And right here is where they come out. And so it's a really, really sweet spot. Especially with some sour apples. Now, if anybody's familiar with the Midwest, you know that in general, all we get to hunt are hollers. And the reason for that is if they could farm the land, they fucking cleared it. Well, that right there is the entrance to the valley. Or as Mad Bad Voodoo would say, the holler. So here we go. Fucking thorns. Oh, fucking hell. But you gotta be willing to shed a little blood for your hobby after all. So now we're inside. So down here we got us a valley. And I can already see them working a trail toward them apple trees. I'd say that there trail up the valley wall looks pretty fucking well used. Now down there is the valley floor. And I used to hunt that valley floor because back in there, there's a creek that runs parallel to the property line. Only trouble is I was hunting the wrong side of it, and so I don't do that anymore. But I get to go hunt back in the holler over here. Now I tell you boys, hauling a tree stand up that fucking grade right there when it's a climber ain't exactly an easy job. So now I'm back over on the other finger over here. And down back in here is another holler. And that's back where it came from. So now here in this finger holler of where my lease is, I've got a stream that goes down to feed the creek from a spring back there. And I'm thinking that tree right there might make a nice little stand tree for shotgun season. And so this bad motherfucker right here is a hell of a deer trail. Look how deep that shit is cut into the side of the valley. That's as wide as a cow path. That's 4 foot wide on that deer trail. And so out there is the orchard. And they come right out this trail, and they'll come right past my bow stand. Well, that's interesting. It looks like they've got a trail working right next to where I'm going to be putting a tree stand. Because there's the orchard. So we're out in the soybeans right now, and that right there looks like a goddamn cow track, but I know it ain't, because there's the soybeans. So this is the other side of the property. Got the soybeans that are sharecropped out, and that tree line right here goes all the way down to right there. And it goes all the way back, quite some ways back that direction, and down into another holler. So with these soybeans here, it could be a pretty damn exciting season. So boys and girls, this has been another installment of Tex Grebner Outdoors Early Season Scouting. I'm very fucking excited for the season, I really am. Back behind me here, I'm gonna eventually scout that as well, but I want to make sure I've got the landlord with me before I go traipsing around out in it. But get out and start doing your scouting now, guys. Start hanging stands and patterning the deer. If you've got a trail cam, go for it. But if I said I wasn't really fucking excited, then I'd be a damn liar. As always, God bless all my Ted Nugent blood brothers and sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement and those of you serving in the military. And thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.